Hey everyone, it's me. I'd like to talk about Alien Covenant. That's what I want to talk about today, just for a little bit. Not for a little bit, a long time. But, people are hating on this film, a lot of people. It's divided audiences, some people love it, some people hate it. Now, I'm not gonna say that you're wrong if you don't like it. If you don't like it, that's fine, but it's these people, like YouTube comments, some reviewers on the internet who are saying these really dumb, dumb describes it perfectly, but these criticisms that aren't even real criticisms, they're just weird complaints. And now I'm not gonna try to say that people are wrong if they don't like the film. There's nothing wrong with that, but there's not liking a film and then saying that you're done with the Alien franchise. Like, it wasn't like Terminator Genisys, which made no freaking sense whatsoever. But let's get into the criticisms. And there's gonna be some haters. But you know what? I hope that you listen. I want you to. It's not gonna be like Kirk Cameron's freaking Christmas special where I just force it on you and say, no, you're wrong because you don't like this sort of thing. I'm gonna show you a different perspective. And, you can lead the horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So I hope that you drink. Just a little taste, at least. But let's stop fooling around. Let's get into this. Now, one thing that I think one comment, and this one I want to go in first, because it's so freaking dumb. And just makes no sense. Is a lot of these Alien fans are just like, we just want more like the Alien style. We want more action, more fighting. So, more fighting people. And that's the thing. These people don't want real science fiction, real science fiction. They just want the more fighting thing. Now, that's not exactly their fault. That is what the Alien franchise has kind of been. At least the real Alien franchise. I mean, Resurrection, AVP3, the games. Nothing wrong with that, but, it can't always be that. Now, the next film, Alien Awakening, does sound like that's going to be that, or kind of a new kind of war, and hopefully that will please, hopefully it'll not only make a lot of money, because I do want to see more of this franchise. I want to see where they take the story go. It's a very captivating story. But it doesn't need all to be about action. And people are talking about, we don't want this philosophical stuff. I'm like, what's wrong with that? Stuff like Guardians of the Galaxy is not true science fiction to me. Real science fiction, than like Alien. But, again. And as the movie didn't have action, it was really good. It followed the formula, if you want to call it that, but it stayed true to the first Alien movie. Now, people saying it was kind of a remake. I don't know about a remake. It wasn't a remake of the first movie. It was kind of spiritual. It was kind of keeping true to the first film. In a way, at least. What's wrong with that? Kind of like a reference in a way, anyway. And a lot of people, I think, can agree that the last areas of the film were amazing. Really action-packed. And the movie was generally scary. When the Neomorph comes out and kills the girl, I can't remember her name, that actually jump-scared me. And the movie's not jump-scare crap like some, Paranormal Activity, or, a lot of modern horror films these days. It really does build up suspense. But yeah, just the whole comment about we want more action is just really dumb. You need to. It's Alien, not Aliens Covenant. Nothing wrong with that. If you wanted that, then that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. I love Aliens. It's still a great film, arguably better than the first one. But I think that just because it's not exactly like Aliens does not mean it's a bad film. Another thing is character development. People are saying these characters didn't have any development. No, they did. Now, I will not lie, I do think that the deleted scenes, both on the DVD release and, the whole Last Supper YouTube clip, should have been in the movie. I think it makes it a cut for time, which is alright, you know. But I think that they would have added a lot more to the movie, except for this one deleted scene that I saw. It was basically a scene. It was extension of the girl's death scene when she's spoiler alert. In the washing her face, and the Neomorph comes out, and that actually kind of scared me. But you get the story already. It's a little thing. It's a little extension of her actually washing her face and praying, and then you see the Neomorph come by. Now, the reason why I think deleted this, the reason why I like it deleted, is because in the film, the Neomorph comes out of nowhere. Now, it's not unannounced. In the previous little thing before that, they do show it climbing up the wall and right outside the little temple where them and David are. But what I like about it is that it does come out. It does kind of surprise you when you first see it, and when you first hear its footsteps. And when you see it, it's just disgusting, and it's very scary. And I like that. And I like that they didn't put in the extension scene. But other deleted scenes, simple things like Walter quite literally giving Daniels cannabis. I thought that was interesting. It's also character. Now, I do think that they should have kept those deleted scenes in. But at the same time, in the actual theatrical cut, I thought that the character was actually pretty good. It was really good. I liked Daniels. I liked Tennessee. Now, sure, I can't remember everyone's name. That's part of me because I have a pretty good memory when it comes to some things. I remember Daniels. I remember Tennessee because they lived. No, I remember Ledward because he died, and that scene, no matter what, you have to admit, the backburster scene was very well executed and very well done, genuinely really good. Which leads us, so bottom line, the character was actually really good. They developed Dan's character, and when Tennessee's wife died, and he realizes it, it's when they tell him, and he's crying, it was kind of sad, I thought to myself, oh, well, that's pretty sad. I didn't mean it didn't make me bawl crying, but it was still pretty sad when he died. When they told him his wife died. And Daniels' character is very established as, she's unsure of her place in the team or in life after her husband James Franco dies, but she also moves on somewhat quickly because she's a doer. And that's why she kind of moves on so quickly, but she doesn't not fully move on. And now another complaint is CGI. Now let's get into this. Now CGI is nothing new. It's Jurassic Park kind of in Terminator 2 really showed it can do. Now CGI for a long time recently has not been very good. The Transformers films are god awful in their CGI. Number 4, but recently, and they actually say it in the behind the scenes, is that now we've kind of gotten a good balance of practical and CGI. If you look at Godzilla, they really did, the 2014 Godzilla, they really did put a lot of things actually in there, like actual destruction, debris, and then CGI some of it. This film, there is a lot of CG, but it makes sense. Like Jurassic Park, they only really did it when they kind of needed to. Or to make things look better. I know that they did use some suits, and in the shower scene you can see that practical head, and it looks really good. Now the CGI in this film is amazing. It's not only is it realistic and beautiful, when the spaceship flies over the lake and into the water ripple, it's amazing. And it's so lifelike, but they actually the ship in one scene they did actually build a part of the ship, one half of it, not half of it, one side of it, and that was really good. I saw in the deleted scenes, and they did have suits for the different aliens. Yet in post, they made a lot of them CGI. Well, nothing wrong with that. CGI is really good. Now a lot of people complain about the Xenomorph being shown in quote unquote from the Honest trailer, which was god awful again, just saying things over and over again. In broad daylight. Now it was not exactly broad daylight, it was overcast. There was a storm over the whole planet, actually. It's not like a bright, sunny day. It's not like friggin' Batman and that stupid dream sequence. Batman v Superman, who's in Mad Max. That's great, isn't it? But it's still the alien looks amazing in CGI, and what I liked about Alien vs Predator is that they make the CGI and practical effects really well. In this one, they do even better, because the alien is now able to move a lot faster, more vicious. It makes it more real. Yet there also seems like the shower scene where it moves in that classic kind of slow kind of way, slow and sinister. It also gets fast and fierce, or should I say, fast and furious. Anyway, the CGI overall was really good. It really does look like they're there. They do look like real creatures, but they also look very unnatural. They look very, disgusting. The gore was really good. I thought that this film really brought back gore. Now, I like Deadpool, but the gore in Deadpool and in Logan was very quick. This film, oh no. It's very good. I really did like it. Really, really good gore. I'll give him that. And the story is very rich and very interesting. The characters, the themes of godhood and creation. The flute scene was weird, but I liked it because it was so weird. But it meant to show how, David and Walter, that David kind of loves him. And all that good stuff. But, nonetheless. All around, pretty good time. It's a very enjoyable film as well. It's very, good story, good characters, good effects, good horror, and a lot of good action. But another problem with this film is people say, why are the characters so stupid? How come they don't put on a helmet? Now let's just look at the helmet situation. Oh, the helmets. Let's remind ourselves that in the first Alien, the guy wore a helmet and also stuck his face in the egg, and he still got impregnated because I think it burned through it. I don't think they explained it very well as to how the alien got actually on his face. I think it burned through, but I don't know how. But it's a minor complaint. At the first film. But, whatever you know. Now, in this film, we want to wear helmets because they actually state, people say, well, they don't know that there's air down there. Well, they do. In fact, in the actual movie, they state that this planet that the paradise where they found the aliens on, is actually much better than the planet they were already heading to. It was better than so they take by for a quick look because, why go to a house that's pretty good when it's oh wow, there's this house that's better nearby. Also complaint, how come they didn't find this planet? Because, well, it's simple, it's space. Space is really big, so it's not even, it makes sense that they might have missed something in, space. Even with their little things. And another thing is that, the people in this film, unlike Prometheus, aren't scientists. They are, much like in the first Alien film, just normal people, every day, on this mission. They have no idea what to expect. They have no idea. Yet we know what's gonna happen, but they don't. And that's kind of what makes you kind of feel helpless. You see them die, and it kind of makes you feel a bit more. Now, another thing I'd like to expand on is, the whole. So, we know that so it's not like they didn't know there wasn't air down there. So it makes sense they didn't bring helmets. Now, a helmet would have kind of worked, maybe, although with the spores and whatnot, that could have gotten into a tear. To be honest, the spores could have gotten in regardless if they wore a suit. If there's one little non-airtight space, they would have gotten in through, and they would have died. And also, the decision that they make in the film kind of makes sense a bit more when you understand what Ridley Scott believes. In a quote that he said, "Humanity is smart, but we're very dumb at the same time. We're like children in a way. we have these great machines, we're gonna do them, so we just keep going and going without asking why or how we should. And that makes sense, because humans do a lot of stupid things. I don't need to count a lot of them. So it makes sense that they might, accidentally step on some spore on the ground, or poke it, or put their face in the egg. Because, they're curious. And curiosity killed the cat, which is why the alien survived the cat survived the first film, because it wasn't curious. But nonetheless, you understand that. So, I'm not saying that his beliefs dismiss every dumb decision made in a movie ever. No. Does excuse why in Prometheus, the biologist guy got freaked out about a 2,000-year-old dead body, and yet when the hammerpede and the worm thing showed up, he was like, oh, this is cool and alright. No, it's not excuse that, but at least in this film, it does. It's not something that they're dumb, it just they make bad decisions, because, and also a lot of things like how when the girl locks the other girl in the room with the lead where he's dying, because, the alien coming out of his back, then goes and slips on the red blood, on the blood. And that kind of makes sense, because, when you're afraid, you don't make logical decisions. Okay, like, when I see a cockroach in my bathroom, I will literally, this is what I do, I actually, run out of the thing screaming. I scream, and I run out, and then I will not go to the bathroom that entire night. Now, does that sound rational? No, that's what I do. So it makes sense like you might slip or misfire when at the alien. When you're afraid, also counting in the director's belief, you make bad decisions when you're afraid. But you also, either Daniels and Tennessee, they get angry, and that's what they fight back. And also, let's talk about, I think we can all agree that Michael Fassbender really stole the show. I mean, he really does steal every scene he's in. He is an amazing actor, and he is one of the best movie villains I've ever seen. He is cunning, and kind of creepy. And the twist ending, maybe some people could predict it, but nonetheless, it was a really cool ending, really good, and left us hanging, which is alright for a film like this, because you did feel satisfied in the end. And people are like, well, there's still questions left unanswered. Well, don't worry. They're gonna answer those in Awakening. It's the sequel. But, it's really good. It's a good movie. And again, it's a new perspective. With the whole fear thing. And another... Is that it? It was really those couple of major complaints. The character development special effects. There's nothing wrong with the alien being well lit, as long as it looks good. This movie, it does look good. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I liked it better in the dark, but the shot that really I liked kind of the most, or one of the most, is when it's in the shower and after it kills I can't remember the actor's name, the character in the movie. The dude from Empire, the black. I'm sorry, the black guy. And he dies. The shot of the alien standing in the shower in the rain, basically, was really scary. It looked amazing. The way darkness, and you see it slowly moving. Really good. I really did like that. And another thing is, anyway, again, I'm not gonna say you're wrong if you don't like it, but just know that don't listen to people who criticize this movie if they're not gonna really, criticize it. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I would have liked it, some of those scenes staying in the film, except for the extension of that one scene. And, and another thing is, I'll agree the tone shifts, but I wouldn't say it doesn't know what it wants to be. It knows what it wants to be. It wants to be both story-driven and horror. Kind of action as well. And it did those things quite well. The horror was pretty good. It actually jump-scared me, as I already mentioned. The action was really good, really intense. I also really like we got to see the alien's eyes. Yeah, it also brought a lot of new things to the table. It was a new, kind of fresh addition to the Alien franchise.